Here we go then. 2 games against PSG, 1 in the cup, 1 in the league. A really good opportunity for us to beat them for the very first time and make Paris the city of Paris FC. Welcome back, everybody, to Moneyball, and we have done very, very well off camera. As usual, we seem to end this sort of period here pretty well, and we're going to end up comfortably seconds without really pushing the title in any sort of form. I guess Ren could catch us still, but unlikely, because I think we're better than them at this point in time. So yeah, today's episode going to be 2 games against PSG, end of season review, and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to be devastated if we don't beat them in one of these 2 games, especially the second one. But if we could beat them in the league, but we lose the cup final, that'd be disappointing, but it would give us something. Give us something to build upon. We can't lose both games. We just can't. So we'll see how it goes. They're both, a week apart or 8 days apart, so that's good. There's a break between the 2 games. We've been very, very good off camera in the last few games, to be honest. It's been quite enjoyable to watch the team play. So it's gonna be a big one, this. Let's see how we get on. Okay, I'm just looking at the analysis report before we play the game. So just looking at the weaknesses. Apparently the goalkeeper looks to rush out. 4 of the 9 assists conceded in the last 20 minutes have come from just outside the area. Not great for the weaknesses. A lot of strengths. I mean, cheers. Look at this. Is this analyst a PSG fan? Look at the state of this. They're just too good. That's brilliant. Tell you what, you're getting sacked, who are you? If this report doesn't work, he's getting sacked because look at the state of this. Like, come on. They're just brilliant. They do everything. They just can't do anything wrong, apparently. So the annoying thing is, 2 of the weaknesses that he's given me have just been goalkeeper stuff. Like, and it's Donnarumma. What are you doing to me here? 3 of 9 assists in the last 20 minutes have come from through balls. Great. I mean, I'm really disappointed in this. Just done a squad comparison with PSG. Let's have a look at this. Average age is, well, we're much younger than they are. Average height's the same. Average weight, similar. Average wage, 22.5 grand a week in wages to 230 grand a week in wages. That is a lot of bollocks, that is, isn't it? Right, great. Okay, let's just have a look at their previous matches ourselves. Let's just do the scout and the analyst's job for them, and let's have a look ourselves. Against Liverpool, what did they play? They're going to get to the Champions League final by the looks of it, which isn't great. But a 4-2-3-1, they battered them as well. Marquinhos, I guess he's more defensive this side with a more attacking wing-back, is what they've got here. And then they've got like a quite big inverted player there, I suppose. So they're going to be quite patient on the left side, but their fullback's going to be more attacking on this side. So maybe we attack down our left, their right for this game. So when we look at this, we focus better on left and try and get more attacks built up that side. We could try that against them by the looks of it. Because if we overexpose that side, I can't imagine that they haven't got much threat for like pace on that side of the pitch except for the right back. So maybe we can exploit that. We'll see. In terms of off-camera performances, Ray's been pretty good off-camera, so is Bayer. Bayer's been really good. The biggest thing off-camera is Adele playing as a shadow striker. He's been incredible. I think he scored nearly every game, apart from the last one. So that was the last one. There's this one here. You've got, he didn't score there either, actually. Adele scored there. Adele scored there. Adele scored 2 there. He scored 2 there. Like, he's just been really good. He scored there. He scored there. Didn't quite score there, but he's been really, really good. He has been excellent for us off camera, so he's going to continue there. We've got Badiashile and Cresswell both out suspended, which doesn't help us, but it's going to be Andrew in goal. Let's get this screen up. Andrew in goal, Merlin left back, Osei right back with Olcan and Gila at centre backs, and Dye, Johansson and Adele as the 3. Ray and Bayer on the wings with Boniface up front. Ray's been pretty good. He's actually looks better as the sort of left winger that cuts in onto his right. So I think in terms of a one-off performance and one-off game, this is the best team to go with. We're going to go with our default tactic because it's been working anyway. I know theirs has as well. So we do know that Hakimi is going to be more attacking. So we can have a look at the tactic. Let's get into the game first. I don't want to change it on this screen. We'll change it in this one here when it's already like in the game. Assistant manager says, matches like these matter most to our fans. Others have written us off, but do it for our biggest supporters. Okay. So we really don't want Ray to track back or anything. We want him to stay up there, stay aggressive, and let Hakimi just bum on and get himself lost. We haven't got any other protection here, have we? So, yeah, let's go with that. On the left-hand side. I'm tempted to make Ray a striker. I think if they go a goal up and we're chasing it, I'm going to move him up as the striker, just to sort of like occupy those slots behind Hakimi. And yeah, see how that goes. But that's going to be your team. Let's get into the game and see how we get on. We're just going toe-to-toe here. Have they got a new-gen striker? Oh, they do. They've got a new-gen striker. That's not looking good. Johansson has the ball, plays it in behind to Boniface. Boniface gets to it, plays it back to Ray. Ray takes a touch on the outside, goes past one, dribbles inside. Is he going to finish it? Plays it across Boniface. Surely get a shot away. Oh, the keeper saved it. Oh, that always happens against PSG. It's like against any other team, just that shot goes in and we win the game. But against PSG, they have like an extra boost against us, but we can't seem to bloody get a result. And that's going to be the end of the highlight, isn't it? Oh, so annoying. That was so close. Highlight early here. Hakimi's now got, plays in behind Merlin. Olcan. Steady possession from Paris FC. Got Ndiaye there. He's got options there. Adele moves with it. Plays it into Bayer. Bayer goes through. He's going to play across. What's he going to shoot? He shoots. Come on, it's a goal for Paris FC. Come on, boys. The Paris derby. 1 goal to Paris FC. We've got a chance. I tell you what. It could be happening. We've had a really good, solid start. 2 highlights early on. And the team is playing exactly the same way they've been playing against the other sides. It gives me confidence that going into future years, as long as we're in good form and we play against PSG at home, we can beat them at home. And it's just about which one of us can win against the AI teams more away from home in those tougher games. But looking good so far. They play across to Kimpembe, into Reina, into Marquinhos, in behind now to Mbappe. Goes through, plays it across, Fabian shoots, 1-1. Devastating. Okay, I'm going to change one thing here. I'm going to make us build out towards the right-hand side, actually, instead of the left. Now, the reason is this. We tend to build out down one side and then coming inside, then switching the play. So let's say we do that here. Let's play Johansson on the right. So he can cut in on his left foot and whack it towards Ray. Now, Ray should be where Hakimi is, right? And we try and get them on like the far side of the pitch. Let's try and do that. So we start this side and it goes towards the left. And see if we can catch them with 2 players here ready to go. Now, Bayer did get himself the goal, though. So, do we do that? Maybe we go with that. Can Bayer play as a 10? Yes, he can. Okay, let's go with that. Come on. Come on, Paris FC. Going to take off Ray and put on Da Costa to be the 10. Move Bayer out to the left-hand side, who did score the first goal, obviously. Johansson and Osei Samuel link up, goes towards the far post, towards Bayer, headed away. And Ndiaye picks it up deep. Looks for somebody to play it to. Merlin has it. Back to the left centre-back. It's progressed towards the middle, and Ndiaye plays in behind to Da Costa, who's throwing goal. What has happened here? Oh, it's calamitous. Here we go then, Osei Samuel. Into Bayer. Bayer plays at Osei Samuel. We've got a chance for build-up here, and Ndiaye's lost it. Oh, Gila wins it back, though. We've still got the ball. Gila, Merlin. Can he find somebody? In behind to Boniface. He goes through. He scored. Is he onside? Let's not celebrate. It's really close. I actually don't know which way this is going to go. I think he's just off. Oh, and he's onside. Come on, here we go. Paris FC get the big late goal. Is that going to be the winner? I hope it is. This could be our first win against Paris Saint-Germain. One thing is for certain, they are not going to beat us now, surely. Their best case scenario is a draw, and I thought, if we can somehow see this out, let's just go to our defensive tactic that lets me do it. Here we go. Oh, we've got a chance. Viewers, I'm excited for this. Roman Playmaker, get yourself in there. We'll go support here. Done all we can. Get that time wasting up. Winger support. We've done it all. We've done all we can. Can we see out the game? Come on. They've gone 5 at the back. Oh, they've got a corner. It's late. It's towards far post, headed towards goal. I don't believe what I've just seen. I don't believe what I've just seen. A bloody set piece goal. Why is he beating the player? Who is he beating, in fact, as well? Who the is this? Osei Samuel. That is annoying. We battered them this game as well. XG tells it. Shots tell you it. Devastating. And it's going to finish 2-2. We ran him close, but not close enough. We'll say well done, lads. Not going to lie, I'm devastated about that. We really should have won the game. But, okay, I'll see you in a few days then for the PSG game in the French Cup final. The last time we played PSG in a Cup final, it went to penalties. So, I'll see you for that. It was PSG, wasn't it, we played? In the final 3rd season, wasn't it? Oh, it wasn't penalties, it was 4-1. There you go. Okay, see you in a few days for the PSG game in the Cup final. Okay, here we go then. One huge problem. Adele, our best performing player at the moment, is going to be out with injury. That's a big loss for us and not great. PSG did just lose, though, in midweek against Liverpool, so maybe it knocks them off their form a little. Oh, Neymar and Fabian are both out. Okay. Oh, 5 to 8 months for Fabian. Okay. I'm not sure who they're going to play instead. It may not matter at CDM. I was about to say maybe their strength and depth in these sort of like wider areas might be dropped a little bit in quality by the Neymar injury, but it doesn't really, does it? it's the same as the last game. Plus, they've still got Clivert and Dan Juma to bring off they need, which obviously they could maybe do slightly better than that at this stage of the save, but it's still good wide players to play within their, good structure they already set for their team. But let's get into the game. Not necessarily the same team because Crespo goes back in. Obviously, Adele is now out as well. So slightly different team, as you can see there. But the tactic of playing on the left-hand side, we're going to stick to, I think, early on. That seemed to work good in the first half. I think we go with that. Let's go with that again. Here we go. Come on then. It is a cup final. Paris FC are in their pink kit against Paris Saint-Germain. This is the first moment in the save where it's been a real, us versus them, the underdog versus the favourite. This is the first battle in the war, huge battle in the war, where it looks like we might actually have a chance of winning. It's the first one where they've got into the battle a little bit scared, and we're the plucky underdog ready. We're there, we're ready to battle. We've got our infantry ready to go in the field of play. Can we overcome the massive favourites with much better firepower than us, with Jota and Mbappe at front? But that is really it. Apart from that, that's a really close team to us. They've got a great goalkeeper, and Hakimi at the back is always a problem, but we've got a chance. Lads, come on. Come on, Paris FC. Assistant manager says, nobody expects us to get a result. Okay, but just select that as well. Come on, Paris FC. Here we go. Huge moment in the series. This could be our first trophy. I mean, we need to inflict some damage on them at some point, right? Manchester City had this with Manchester United when they played them in the FA Cup semi-final in 2011. Like, it was the first time they went into a game like as maybe not quite equals. People still made United the favourites, but almost. It was close enough. It was quite close, and they won it. And this is our moment right now. Here we go. Highlighting the first minute for PSG to start off with. So that's not a great start. They go in behind towards Mbappe. Of course they do. He cuts inside, plays it to Reina, shoots from distance, and it's over the bar. It was close though. Badiashile to Crespo, into Da Costa. Boniface. We've lost a really key player in Adele. Not going to lie to you. It's a big loss, especially from watching the games off camera after moving him to that sort of role. There's nobody quite like him in that role. Bai gets it, plays to Osei Samuel, goes on the right-hand side. He goes through. Is he going to shoot himself? He's gone so close. He's got to score. You've got to score, Osei Samuel. You get that bloody close. He could have played it across goal 2 or 3 times. He kept going and kept going. Then shot and got it blocked anyway. So poor from Osei Samuel. He was at fault for a goal in the last game. He was at fault for not getting us a goal there. Next season, he is 100% not going to be with us anymore. I've had enough of him. He's been infuriating me anyway, so he'll be gone. Yeah. In it, come on, Osei Samuel. Do something for us before you leave us next season. But he could say as a backup, he's definitely not going to be a starter, but I'd probably just sell him anyway. What a ball that is. Boniface, he's got to score it, and he goes, come on, that's got to be a goal. Oh, get out, referee. No chance. No chance there's any VR nonsense here. Give the bloody goal. Give it. Give it. Come on, there we go. 1-0 to Paris FC. Brilliant ball from Ray, our little Brazilian Mbappe. Goes through, plays a great ball in. This is what he does. I don't know what his attribute is going to be for passing and vision, but it's got to be pretty high. Something's high, because he does this all the time. Normally, it's actually not the striker. He's playing it in behind to somebody on the right-hand side. So maybe he could play on the right wing and he can play it across to someone on the left in behind Hakimi. We could maybe look for that second half if we don't continue to create chances, but we're creating a lot of chances. Look at this. 3 players in here against Hakimi. Doesn't know what to do. Oh, he gets the interception. It's bad enough that he can just catch everybody up. Now he can make interceptions as well. Jota goes through. What a challenge that was. Okay, the highlight's going to continue though, so go to Badiashile on the left. Badiashile plays it into Ray. Ray goes inside. He's got to release it. He does to Johansson. He gets himself on the outside, though, as well, if he needs to be used. Johansson goes through. Straight through the gap. Goes through and he shoots. And he scores and it's 2. Come on! The cup final, we go 2-0 up. And yet again, on that left-hand side, we're creating problems for them. Hakimi's getting dragged all over the place. Like, even though they nearly countered on us, it looked really dangerous a second ago. And we go through again and making it 2-0 to Paris FC. What a chance this is. Come on, boys. I love that. Come on. The cost of the free kick, Gila. For like if it's 3... surely we can't mess this up. Da Costa, Osei Samuel, plays it into Crespo, in behind to Ray. Ray brings it down. Da Costa, I think he's offside. I think this one is offside. Yeah, it's offside. I just think when you get a wing-back that's this good and this quick, like he's 20, is it 20 pace he has? It's just so hard to deal with in transition. Like it's really hard to create any chances down that hand side in the match engine. And then also, he's obviously able to just, just scored. And he's also able to, 1, do that, but 2, dribble up players and almost be like a second winger in possession. So he's sort of able to get away with not being the best defender, but he's obviously still good enough that as well. Kimpembe plays it into Reina, takes a touch, slides it into the right-hand side. Merlin, I don't believe what we've just seen. I can't believe what I've just seen. 2-2. Okay, we lose the ball. Donnarumma goes long. We should be winning this. Badiashile's missed it, but Gila gets to it. Merlin into Crespo, into Johansson, into Boniface, into Gray. Ray goes through, plays it into Bio's onside, goes through, shoots. I think he's onside. No, that's got to be onside. I think it's might be 3-2. I'm not going to celebrate too much because they've already come back from 2 goals down. It's got to be close. I think he's on. Oh, that had to be close. I'm not happy with that decision. All right, so goal kick is it for us? Gila. Badiashile looks to, oh, you've got to just play it in there. It had to go in there. We're supposed to be focusing it on the left anyway. And that pass away looked pretty open to me. Crespo into Boniface. Plays it back. And we work it to Johansson. That's fine. Can we try and work it to the left? Can we get a bit higher now, Johansson? Get higher. In between Hakimi and the centre-back. Oh, my God. What is that? Oh, they go through. Mbappe shoots. He scores his 3-2. I don't believe what I'm seeing here. Do it for the fans, we've said to the boys. Yeah, I'm going to focus on the right again and play Ray on the right to then cross it to the left. I think we'll do that. Okay, now Ray's on a 5.4. I'm going to take up, put Johansson over to that side and put Evander as the playmaker. Corner for Paris FC. Da Costa whips it in. Headed towards goal and it's just wide. 2 minutes of added time. Oh, that's a disgrace. I mean, to throw away a 2-goal lead is bad enough in a cup final, but to do it from the passing mistakes we made is just absolutely unacceptable. There's clearly players in this team who are not good enough to play at this level and challenge PSG for the title. Very annoying, very frustrating, and I'll see you for the end of season review. I haven't got too many other words right this second. I'm annoyed with certain individual players for that. Crespo played shite. Merlin and Samuel were terrible. So that told me that fullbacks are essential next season. We desperately need some fullbacks that are good. If we had like a Hakimi, it could have been so different, but there we are. Okay, I'll see you in a couple of weeks for the end of season review. So we managed to win the last 2 games off camera there against Lille and Montpellier for the league. Managed to finish ourselves in 2nd place. And, yeah, I mean, PSG lost 1 game all season, right? So that is what it is. We had 76 points, which is an improvement on last year. We got 67. The year before, we got 78, actually, then. So we had 1 more point there. But we did pretty well. I think this year was a much bigger step forwards for us. We've got an extra 500,000 followers plus on social media, which is good. Our transfer budget is £16.31 million, which is not too bad compared to previous years. And wage budget is really, really low. So that is not good at all, which is a shame. But okay, so the board have confirmed this. They did initiate the proposal for this last year. They're going to get a brand new stadium for us. The Paris FC board went out to say that the club has been granted planning permission to build a new stadium. The construction of Paris FC Stadium, very original, will cost around £65 million. The board has secured a loan of £52 million to help finance the stadium project. The club finances were pretty good a second ago. It's just gone. We've just basically lost like, what, it was 15 odd million a second ago because it was actually quite high. I was about to say to you in the next like update, the bank balance is like 20 million, is looking good, but they've taken some of that out now to build the stadium, which is a bit annoying. It is much bigger, the stadium, in terms of a capacity. It could probably be bigger than that, to be honest, but there you are. It's not going to be completed till 2029. Hopefully we can get a trophy before then, and hopefully we can even challenge a title before then, but there we are. You are not going to believe what has just happened. PSG, for the 2nd time in the series, have got to the Champions League final and played against Napoli. And 2 times in a row, they have bottled it and lost to Napoli. I tell you what, big round of applause for Napoli there. That is unbelievable. To do it once is incredible, but twice in the same save in the first few years? That's just incredible. I cannot believe PSG have yet again failed to win the Champions League. Oh dear. Here you are then. End of season review, the new arrivals. I still can't believe PSG lost that Champions League final. I still can't believe that. That's incredible, isn't it? You couldn't make that up. To lose twice in the final in the first, 5 years of the save is pretty good. But to lose it twice to a team that they should be expecting to beat anyway, if they'd have lost to Liverpool twice or Manchester City twice, you go, oh, okay, it's good they've lost twice, but they've lost twice to a team that we could expect. To lose to Napoli specifically twice is just incredible. I'll tell you what, later on in the save, we need to do Napoli a huge favour. I don't know what it's going to be, but we need to do them a huge favour. Oh, that's good. It still means that we've still got the opportunity to win the Champions League before PSG do. That is still on the cards, ladies and gentlemen. So there we are. Let's have a look at the end of season review and new arrivals then. So, average rating, it's going to go to Bayer. Bayer was really good. 50 starts this season he had, which is incredible for an outfield player. He hardly ever got injured. Neither did Johansson. Both of those two players were incredible, but for a wide player that's got pace, for him to not get injured is incredible. 11 goals, 19 assists. I thought Bayer was incredible. He was absolutely brilliant, and Ray's got a lot to live up to try and match this next season. Obviously, didn't get quite the full season that Bayer did, but but every time Bayer plays on the right-hand side, he scores. It's the same for Adele in that right cam slot. When off camera, I had Bayer on the right, Adele as the right-hand side, like number 10 slot in the Kevin De Bruyne kind of role. They just both kept getting goals, both kept getting assists. I think going into next season, they're two players that I don't want to sell at all because I don't know if I can replace them for what they were able to provide us with anything remotely the same amount of money that I would get for selling them. So they're going to be there. Everyone else looked pretty good. Ray was good, but it's still too early to tell whether he's going to be worth the 14 million or not. I suppose we need to see what happens next season in the full season. Janssen was good. Crespo was a really good signing. I thought was pretty consistent throughout the year. Andrew was a brilliant goalkeeper. How is that not an A plus? 550 grand, and I thought he was fantastic. So there we are. He could still end up being sold though, I think, at some point because he's non-EU, and if we can sell this goalkeeper for like 14 million and get a replacement that's almost as good for like 3 or 4, it could be potentially worth it. Mario Gila I thought was brilliant and well worth the money. You got 2 incredibly good Moneyball signings there back to back. Rikichi I thought was really good. His average rating's a little low because he played quite a few games off the bench, and he also played different positions, right? Rikichi played centre back, he played right back, he played CDM, he played all sorts of stuff for us. Let's in fact have a look here. Yeah, as you can see, 25 starts or appearances, as a centre-back, 13 on the right-hand side of defence, and 4 as a CDM. Played better as a centre-back than anything else, which is what he was really bought for, or to play CDM, actually. He could do that job as well. Evander was okay. Like, he came in and did... He was basically what I expected from him at 2.6 million. He came in, he wasn't quite good enough to start, but when he was called upon, he was reliable enough and was pretty good. Huskovic actually did okay, to be fair. I didn't really give him too much of an opportunity, but he did good for what I was asking from him. But I don't think he's worth the money that he's valued at right now. So if we could get something like 15 million, which is even less than it says there, I would take 15 million 100%. The stats that he provided with us this year, doesn't really compute with that amount of money. So we would take money for him. And Mataza was a free transfer anyway and did pretty good there. The season results, we already looked at the fact that that's more points than last year, not quite as many as 2 years ago, but we're looking like a much better side, I think. The fact that we can compete with PSG in matches now, like those 2 games back-to-back were really close, could have gone either way, and I think that I probably should have done a better job of it. 2-0, you don't want to go then like overly defensive and flip the momentum of the game, but I probably could have made, like, I don't know, fullback support instead of fullback attack, something like that. I probably could have made little tweaks to see out the game, which I might have to do against PSG because they're a next-level opponent. But, yeah. Moments to remember, 7-0 in the French Cup, apparently. Finances, everything's gone up except for broadcast revenue, but matchday commercials gone up, competition prize money. Obviously, the corporate and the matchday should both be going up. Probably the sponsorship as well, with the new stadium coming in, and that's looking good. No surprises for the number of shirts sold. They're all pretty much the key players. How we lined up? Yep, that looks pretty good for the team this year, which is good. The accolades. Fans player of the season was Bayer. I'm happy with that. He was incredible. He was really, really good. He was brilliant, in fact. Young player of the season, that shouldn't go to a 24-year-old, but we carry on. Signing of the season was that I agree with. That hit between him and me, Bayer, to be fair. There's a few, actually. We had a few good signings this season, but value for money for a goalkeeper that played every game that I want him to play and cost me 550 grand is pretty good. Top goal scorer, Boniface with 38. Very, very good goals returned. Boniface is going to leave us in the summer because he's only got a year left on his contract and he wants to leave anyway, so he's not going to sign a new one. So he'll be gone. Replacing him is going to be tough. Highest average rating was Bayer on a 7.4. And some records are broken there. Dylan Chevalier scored an incredible goal, actually, to break this record. It was a bang from absolutely miles out. Went straight into the top corner off camera. And they have it. Direct Manager Timeline. 200 matches in charge. Need to get that trophy. We need to get that trophy. So, making it rain. I didn't know that was in the Manager Timeline. There you are. And there you are. That is your end of season review. Okay, so there's a few things to do. One thing that I want to look at specifically is to look at some of our starting players this year and comparing them to PSG's players. I want to look at Osei Samuel versus Hakimi. Where are the differences and where are the similarities in their stats and what is the difference and what do we need to buy for next year? But I'm going to save that for the next episode when it'll make more sense to have it in the same episode where we're going to buy the players anyway. So I'm going to save that for the next one. So all the team stats and the player stats that we're going to look at, I'm going to save all of that for the next episode, the start of the next episode, and we can go through some stuff there. Again, I may not look too closely at the team. I want to look more at the individual players and compare ourselves to PSG stats because we're playing a very similar system now, and it's going to be really interesting to see where they've played better than us in certain areas, excluding Mbappe being a special case. Looking at all those other players, did their CDMs have more progressive passes or tackle win ratio? What is it that makes them at the moment, from a statistical point of view, better than our team, at least in terms of stats, right? So we need to have a look at that. We'll go deep dive into that next time. For now, though, what we're going to finish off with is the attribute reveal. So it's going to be an attribute reveal for Season 3. It's going to be for this season right here. And notable names are going to be Pablo Neris is going to be one in there, Guga, Ego, some good players in there, Telby, Lornberg, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Not too many maybe in this class, as it were, but we'll go through all those in a second and see how good these players are. Okay, so to recap Season 3 then, it has been by far, well, not by far, it's been our biggest points total haul so far with 78. We did very, very well. This was your team. Nuruddin in goal with Jensen, Ferrezi, Christensen as a back three, Hadjam, Correa as the wing backs, Samuel and Dai and Da Costa as like the three with Preek and Kalfin up front. That was the main sort of team for this year. But going back to Season 2, although that was the Season 3 team, a lot of the players you're going to see that were sold were because they were first team players in Season 2 and they weren't really involved in Season 3. So Ego, Neris, players like that, Nehal, right wing back there, those players, and Talby at centre-back, those players really were in Season 2, but we're looking at, players that I guess we lost really more in Season 2. Maybe I should be looking at the season before. Like, if we're looking at players that we sold in Season 3, we need to look at the team in Season 2 to see what the players actually were that we used, right? So, in fact, let's have a look at that, because most of the team players will be from that. Season 2, really. So we were looking at the team that finished 7th in the Europa League, or the UEFA Conference League. So let's have a look at the players anyway from Season 3, split between maybe these two seasons a little bit. So the first player we're going to look at is Pablo Neris, the Argentine forward who scored a lot of goals for us and could play wing-back as well. Let's see how good he was. Okay, now, unless he's had a really bad injury, which he's not, I thought he was much quicker than that and had better dribbling, because I'm pretty sure it said that he was, pace, but judging that, he didn't have that much pace, so that's pretty poor, isn't it? Well, it's always going to look poor compared to what we have now, but what I'm saying, I guess, more is that what I thought in my head he wasn't at all. I thought he was quick, but he wasn't. He was actually pretty good in the air, 14 heading, 13 jumping reach, 13 strength, so that's quite an interesting one there. The second was Mauricio Gomez, who was left-footed and could play left wing-back and left centre midfield, if you remember rightly, and was a pretty effective player for us, at least it felt like anyway. Let's see how good he was. Sold him for £1 million, and wow, he's 33 now, so he might have lost a little bit, but he doesn't look great. He looks almost like a central midfield version of Pablo Neris. It's pretty similar between those two, so there you are. Nader Moreno. Now, I was really, really high on Moreno. I thought he was an excellent player. He played as a 10 for us, he played as a wing-back, and he looked like he was a really good player with acceleration, dribbling, maybe a bit of passing as well. Let's see what we actually had. And no, yet again, you look at him, you look at Pablo Neris, they look very similar. I mean, it's crazy how similar these players are looking in terms of their attributes and stuff, right? So, again, maybe like I overvalued their dribbling and pace in my mind of what they actually were, which is interesting. Okay, Guga. Now, Guga did break his leg, had a knee ligament injury, didn't he? He had a really bad injury, but he was a really good player at one point, we thought anyway. So let's see what Guga had. And he looks okay, actually. He looks a little bit similar to the other two. I think he's actually a really good player. If he hadn't got his bad injury, he could have developed really nicely. He's got some really nice attributes there. He's a really good, solid pivot player, as a deep line playmaker, and would probably be an okay backup for us right now, looking at those attributes. He's not really excellent at doing any sort of role, but he's good enough as a backup, so pretty good player. Really good signing for the time for us until his injury, and we signed him for 350 grand, sold him for 825, so pretty good to have him. Shame about his injury. What was it again? It was a damaged cruciate knee ligament. 8 months out. Terrible. Marvin Ego, the striker. Well, not the best, to say the least. Not impressed with that at all. He scored quite a few goals for us in that first season, though. Not so much in the second, but I mean, he's played matches as well. He shouldn't really have plummeted too much in his attributes because he's been getting matches and stuff, right? But maybe he just did. David Bracalo was a backup centre-back for us. Let's see how good he was. And he's got more pace than I thought he would. He's okay. He was okay for the time. Considering he was like a side of a back three kind of defender and a utility player, he was actually really useful. And we made $1 million or 900 grand loss on him, but he was about what I'd expect him to be fair, so that isn't really a surprise. Okay, Talby. Now, Talby was obviously the centre back we had who was a good player for a couple of years. And obviously we're starting to look at the next season here, like, because it's gone into June, but it's the only way really easy to track it. So sort of going into the next year. But Talby was a really good centre back and consistently, on a regular basis, managed to get really good stats. Oh, he was good. He was really good. Oh, Talby was really good. If he was my third choice centre back now, I'd be okay with it. Preferably fourth choice. Oh, he's a good player. A really good player. That's devastating that we've not got him anymore, really. So we bought him for 675 grand. He was amazing for us. And then we sold him for 2.8 million to Liga 2. That's interesting. Like, he was really good for us that year. He had really good stats. It was him and Ferrarese both together who had really good stats. I thought that Tabu was here for 2 years, but it was just the one. But yeah, what a player. We're going to finish off then with Frederick. And Frederick was pretty average. He's okay. He was, I guess, about what I thought. A really good free chance. I think, 550 grand we paid for him. Okay, so he was necessary for us to have strength and depth in the midfield, especially playing that 3-5-2 system that we were sort of playing. And yeah. So he's a really good player. Very good mentally. Not too bad technically for the things that we needed him to do. Physically a bit struggling, but yeah, was pretty worth the money. And there you have it. That is your attribute review from the third season of our series. And that is going to do our episode. So when we come back next time, we're going to look at some of our player stats, compare them to some PSG player stats, see what we need to improve, see what we can really identify as something we need to improve on. I think fullbacks is one that we're definitely going to look at. And it's going to be a case of both sides as well. So going to be an expensive transfer window. We might have to take some risks. We're going to sell Boniface. Now, losing Boniface and not replacing him with somebody that's competent is going to be a really big problem for us. 38 goals and 45 starts. That's a really good return. And it's going to be hard to replace him. And it's going to be expensive to replace him. And we're not going to get that much money for him, really. Like, he's worth 11 million. Is that all? That's what we've put on him, isn't it? But he's only 13 clubs. Hopefully we can get like 20, 25 million for him. We should be able to, really. But yeah, that is going to do the episode. Thank you so much for watching the series. I look forward to the next episode. We'll be doing our Moneyball transfer window. And I'll see you all next time.